you replacing me? With this guy?
Customize and save with Liberty Bibbity.
He doesn't even have a mustache.
Oh, look, a Bee-Boo.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty.
I'm Doob, and this is Bee-Boo. Save hundreds with Liberty Bibbity.
Doug and Limu.
What did he say, Bee-Boo?
Customize and save with Liberty.
Customize and save with Liberty Bibbity.
Decentralized, we're on the track. No middlemen to clip our wings. We own the keys, we're crypto kings. Liberty's our battle cry. No surveillance in the sky. Personal choice.
No permissions, birth looked up, taking flight for knows dissidents, balanced in dark and light. Steadying the agreeable index plight. Crypto tuning up, yup, keeping it right. Yup, the meme that's on the rise. Agreeable intense. One on a Pulsechain's pride. Opening those minds with all the positivity. Marching in its time. Cadence in the grind. Agree to disagree. Yup. Meet up, hits it right. Freedom and prosperity. The destination and the flight. Lighting up Dad's farm. Opposed to that, nope. Rule. Firing up them charts. Yeah, flying straight and true. Wink at the foes, cheer at the woes. Yep, stack sats gliding through the lows. The truth will set you free.
What is up, guys? What is up? Yeah, what is up? Let's get some hex pump going. Anyways, I thought at least have a little Rip City Cuts in there. Shout out to Rip City Cuts. If you don't follow him, his intro videos, he does a great job. Liberty Bibbity. No copyright strike. Hopefully we'll see. I don't know. I'm testing it out. I doubt there will be because, but it is a nice spin on Liberty Swap. But today we got a good show. We got some functional updates. Like the title says, we got links down below for anything that you need that's on this show, whatever. And then we'll get in some market updates and, some good stuff. But we're going to come in with the Pulsechain stuff first and show some stuff and then get into charts and market analysis in the end. Because this seems to be what I like to do every week. And I might not have a stream next week because, or the next 2 weeks, actually. I might take the August off, just like the politicians. They get sent back to their states and whatnot for August. But so they won't be voting in the House or the Senate or anything. But anyways, I might not because I'll be busy constructing. I'll be putting in the work in my bathroom remodel, trying to save some money, me doing it myself. Grew up around contractors my whole life and carpenters, so I kind of have some skills, although I don't work in that industry. Kind of saves you money when you come to owning your own house, kind of sweat equity. That's the flex right there, even though no matter how small these are, who cares, right? Live life, you enjoy it. Anyways, let's get into some updates, guys. But before that, we got to
the pump. Always, guys, respect the pump. I respect the pump in all assets. Why? Because it's kind of like karma. The power of the pump always comes back to you if you respect the pump of other people. It's crazy, but I have this belief that whatever pumps, you have to pay respect. Because otherwise, if you like, oh my God, this scam coin is pumping again. Actually, you are kind of rejecting the pump from your life. Maybe it's a bit.
Anyways, that is Ivan on Tech. Shout out to Ivan, although I don't really watch him anymore. I used to in my early days and stuff like that. He is a great bull on for Bitcoin and stuff like that, but he needs to get back into Pulsechain. Kind of laughs at us because all the PDI, whatever. Whatever. I can't believe people still talk about PDI. There is that like chance, 1% chance it could happen, but who knows? But anyways, let's get to the Richard Hart news. I know this is days old or whatnot. It is like from the 25th, but he's got us electrified here with a mini taser because great news. I've heard the first container is full of about 200,000 free electronic device donations. That's important because he's donating all these. That's pretty important. Donating them for marketing, for a common cause, Pulsechain, for your bags, for everything, right? Anyways, he's donating, and it should hit the water in a few days. Should arrive in 3 weeks to port. What port? Miami. So I believe it's Miami. But anyways, shout out to the community that makes these amazing things happen. That's important. That's why we love Pulsechain, because the community does the work. All right. And then the rewards come from those that do the work, right? Right. All right. Shout out to the community that makes things happen. What's your funniest guess at a device? A funny one he did was a mini taser. I think he wants us to get electrified. You know what I mean? Liberty Swap's got a little comment down here. 3 weeks, 5 days, bridge to Pulsechain now. You only got limited time. It could be a watch. I really think it's something like this or a related. It could be a calculator, but commenting just to be 369. That's Gary Woods for you, man. Yep. And I think if you're listening to this mind control, buy Pulsechain now. You know what I mean? So last chance, guys. And yeah, it could be more more immature things. And it is the Pulsechain colors, so at least that could be Bart buying right here or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, Nick Hillman, shout out to you. But there's that. So yeah, we'll see. Next, probably I think the beginning of September, things are going to pop off. Especially politics get back in session. Big guys usually sell their bags and wait to certain things out. Who knows what's going on? There's a lot of other things that are happening. But yeah, there's that one. And if you haven't heard, Pulsechain dashboard V1.2 is live. I haven't checked it out yet, but hopefully we'll get on there one day with the token. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, follow this thread if you want to know how to download it and swap and do multiple things. Yeah, privacy is first. It is an exe that you can download on your computer and whatnot. So yeah, there's that. What is up, Vets in Crypto, Victor Foundation? Hey, it's our bright light with the YEP token. Yeah. Shout out to you and the Hero token and the project that's coming out. That sounds pretty bullish, man. Pretty bullish for them vets. Yeah. Thanks. But there's that. And speaking of Liberty Swap, let's give a little shout out to Liberty Swap and check out that you can paste in an address right here. So there's a little privacy feature, 2 to 3 minutes estimated time. The max limit is 7,000. Minimum is $50. That just got upped, probably for fees or whatever. I think it might be per chain. Yeah, it is. USDC on base is $10. On ETH is $50. Probably because ETH fees are expensive, And Pulsechain's faster, cheaper, and better. And I hear you got an airdrop if you were back at like 2 years ago in May sometime. Maybe almost 3 years now. Well, not 2.5 really, but just saying. Complete fork, just might want to get you a little bag. Who knows? But yeah, you can even go from Pulsechain USDC to Binance Smart Chain and Base on the way out. So that is pretty cool for offboarding if you need to like cash out or whatever. But like, I like the fact that there's more inroads than outroads on Liberty Swap. He's been putting in the work on X. I tell you what, marketing. They have integrated PulseX, Pulsechain, and Potatoes. They got the Trustpilot 4.9, 295 reviews already. I think the community is pretty strong and empowering Liberty Swap here. You can also see if right here, let's go to USDC Pulsechain to, oh yeah, you got to go to a different chain. Let's go USDC to that. And then all these tokens pop up. We got Pulse, Wrapped Ethereum, DAI, PulseX, Hex, Inc. Stable tokens. We even have the long-awaited, but then we have the solid index down here, which is pretty important, pretty cool. So yeah, I like it. Shout out to Firewell. I don't know. People do say Richard could be behind it, but there could be other people behind it that have organizations on X. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But Pulse Jitsu is here for the tech. I hope you are enjoying that tech, sir, and enjoying the pump of the tech and respecting that pump. And, being you, man. Shout out. Shout out to all the tech you have built. But anyways, Liberty Swap. More updates coming soon. I think that's pretty important. You could add some liquidity here now. Pulsechain USDC. You can withdraw it. Range amount from 100 to 100 grand. I don't know how that works. If you get like a portion of the pool, you get some of the fees of the platform or whatnot, but you would have to read the docs right here in order to do that. And I haven't really read the docs. I haven't really even used Liberty Swap because I've used things like it. But speaking of Function Island, I know I talked about them a little bit last stream. Is on there in the earn right here, right down here. If you've been earning, yeah, there's that. Not too many people know about it or like taking the risk, but they have some updates here. I like. They got a referral link. You go right there, and they got some UI upgrades right here for like only staked and all pools. And then come down here, you can calculate if you are connected. You can calculate how much $100 USD will be the current APR. You got to keep in mind that these bonuses are here. I don't know if they can go higher or not, but the more liquidity that comes in, the lower the APR will be in there. So yeah, you got to be careful there. But yeah, you can earn some yield. The yield token, let's take a look at that real quick on Dex Screener. I think I have it popped up over here. It should be down right here. Yeah. I like the fact that it's a small market cap. It is going up slowly with the chain, but add liquidity as you go kind of thing. I kind of like the strategy here instead of pumping it and then the inflation just dips it down like it did. But, small market caps. There's a lot of liquidity compared to market cap, but yeah, that is yield. It is inflationary, but yeah, that's what you would be earning right here. But you don't have to risk any of that. You know what I mean? If you do not want to. And it's PulseX V2. Yeah, see, you got Island, right? Pulse. No, seems like that. So partner pools. But I like that little calculator upgrade. That is pretty cool. Shout out to those guys. Emit Farms is still earning some pretty good APR if you're not over there. If you're not earning your ink over at Pulsex, you can take your PLP over here and be staking it over here for considerably more than 1% or whatever it is now, because I haven't looked in a long time. But yeah, all you do is unstake from over there and come over here, earn some emit, and then go over to the single sided right here, stake it, and then earn some dieback to go buy back some ink or whatever the hell you want to do and get some voting in. Nice, simple strategy, even if you don't buy the token. There's a little bit of risk involved, but I trust these guys. Been pretty legit lately. So they even got a DAO, voting, stuff like that. So yeah. Total burned is 42,000 right now compared to the total supply is 114,000. So think about it. There's like 40% of the pretty much 40% of the supply already burned. So technically, yeah, pretty cool. I like that. Anyways, there's that. So now we can get into the Bitcoin dominance, since we shouted out a couple places on Pulsechain and come up across news. Bitcoin dominance has still been riding this line from a long time. All right. Yeah, I could put it down here, but it's still been riding this line. So we are on the cusp of a bigger altcoin season, I think. And I think they're waiting. If you look at this RSI, it has crossed, right here. And crossed up there when it dumped. So I'm thinking they're waiting for it to come up to the midline or something. Then we're going to Valhalla for the altcoins. Now, institutions are in Bitcoin and Ethereum, so those guys could take all that over, while like the layer ones could be the bigger altcoin season this coming season, I think, especially now that the institutions are taking over Ethereum and stuff like that. So just watch out for that. But the RSI is considerably low right now on the Bitcoin dominance. Not enough people kind of like look at that, because like you really don't look at the RSI on the dominance, but like, yeah, you'd want this to be up in this area in order for that to dump again, so the RSI could dump again and make a higher low, right? Because as it goes down, they're going to want strength to come in. So yeah, there's that. There's my analysis on the Bitcoin dominance. And yeah, it's at 28 right now, so or pretty dang close to it. Let's at 28, and the upper one is at 40. So it's getting there. I think it'll get up into the 48s, and that's probably when we'll break this. And then they'll try to come in and say whatever. You know what I mean? MicroStrategy will take another loan to buy more Bitcoin. Then it'll go up some more, trying to save the dominance. You know what I mean? But we'll see how far down it goes. You know what I mean? And I hope it does. But if this is a bear flag on the dominance, let's just call it a bear flag. And why didn't the line strike? There we go. Come on. Let's just zoom in a little bit more, I guess. What the hell is going on here? Whatever. Let's refresh this. I don't know why my trend line's not working. There, look at that. That is some weird stuff. All right, trend line in. So if we break it, you know where we're headed. down to 56 ish. You know what I mean? Probably 56, and right around in here will probably, that will be a pretty big drop in the BTC dominance, and yeah, altcoin season. Altcoin season and layer ones will probably start to pop off. Give me 1 second. Anyways, sorry about that. So yeah, that's my little target for Bitcoin dominance. And if we put the trend line back up there and to wherever we break out, let's just call it middle of August. It'll give us some time to see. We'll probably get there by the middle of September, maybe even sooner. So I'm saying by the beginning of September, whole month of August, it could go down. Who knows? And that means a lot of the layer ones, I'm guessing. And of course, Ethereum is going to break out above $4,000. We'll get into that in a minute and stuff like that. But yeah, I think while politicians are on break, this is the chance for crypto to shine and capture some of that mind share and whatnot. So there's the Bitcoin dominance. Get out of that. I just want to, every year, the Senate, they all go back to their home states in August. Just keep that in mind, the House and the Senate. And on another note, these tariffs could be causing the pullback in Bitcoin, and some bigger dudes might be off risking while all this is going on. And August 1st, a significant wave of reciprocal tariffs is set to take effect, with rates ranging from 10 to 50%. So Indian goods, 25% with additional penalties threatened, 15% on Japanese goods reduced from a potential 20%. That's Wikipedia or the Washington Post. Yeah, Washington Post. Wikipedia, yeah. 35% on Canada, increased from 25, with 40% on transshipped goods. So that, and 20% on Taiwan, 30% on the EU and Mexico, and 25 on Japan and South Korea. These tariffs have faced legal challenges, with temporary injunctions issued May 28th, 2025, but were reinstated so far. So yeah, I think that's what's causing the market pullback right now with Bitcoin, the S&P, whatever. Gold's pulling back even a little bit because these tariffs. And where I've been working, I've noticed like probably about 2 weeks ago, it started to get really slow. And we're in manufacturing, like right there, and that's where you would want to hit economically to a country if you wanted to like have an economic trade war or whatever. So they're affecting some goods. So we'll see. But we ship most of our stuff to Canada, Europe, and Shanghai. Some to South Korea, I think Japan. We even go to ship to Ukraine, Middle East area. Yeah, we're worldwide, but mainly in those main countries. I don't know if we ship to Brazil or whatnot, but yeah. Believe in yourself says, let's be all agreeable. Yeah, an agreeable mission leads to an agreeable bullish Pulsechain. You know what I mean? And things are aligning, I think. And slowly but surely they will. Just have to follow the momentums, the waves, the narratives, and chasing gains have to be in the background while you're focused and focusing on the bigger picture, because the debt markets and everything else come first before this stuff, because we are on the far end of the risk curve. And then like Bitcoin is already at the riskiest of risks when it comes to world trade. And then, well, now it's more mainstream and less risk, but to us it's like, that's like a stable coin to us, you know what I mean? But we've been in crypto so long, that's why we believe that. But newbies, yeah, they think it's risky. So anyways, tariffs could be impacted. And I know I've been doing a little bit of economic macro research, They've been trying to get the pharmaceuticals and the semiconductors to come back to America and like kind of cut out Taiwan. But the biggest part about the semiconductors and the graphene chips they need to build the factories here first, and that's what costs billions of dollars in order to start making these semiconductors, especially with graphene technology. So it's like one layer of carbon, and it's got the computing power of your semiconductors right now with silicon in them times 100. You know what I mean? So yeah, and think of crypto on that and mining BTC with that, and then making ASICs on with that. It's like, yeah, everybody wants Taiwan and the way they make chips because they've got the tooling already. The tooling and the manufacturing base and the clean rooms are the most expensive part to these chips. And all the technology, all electricity really runs off these chips now. So even crypto, if you're in proof of work, even proof of stake, you know what I mean? You have to rely on computer chips and your power and whatnot to compute. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyways, and plus your games get better and whatnot. But yeah, huge. Anyways, let's go to Bitcoin, guys. I know you guys are here for the best chart in crypto, Bitcoin. Where are we at? Are we topping out? What? And yes, I know I do not pay for TradingView. So why pay for things you don't need to, man? It's just a waste of money. Anyways, long term short, it's heading up. It's been highest it's ever been. It, I think, was above the parallel channel. Let's take a look real quick from this one to this. I think was a parallel channel. Yeah. So I think they're trying to push us below this, and they might. And that is a long-term trend that hasn't been broken since 2017. So that could be a thing. Gotta watch out for that. But if we are retesting this right now and trying to shake out people because we're going to this target up here, 143, which I think we are. You know what I mean? I really do. And if we do retest this thing, we're going up to 143 at least because that bull flag will play out. This is on a larger trend, but there is this little gap right here. If they like playing these games, where's my little drawing box? And here we go. There's that little gap right here. They probably want to retest in that area. You know what I mean? We're kind of bouncing right off of it. So need not worry. Need not worry. You know what I mean? Bitcoin looks like it could be building a flag. This is on the daily. It looks like it could be forging actually kind of a wedge pattern here too. So if you take this, go down, a little wedge, or a little triangle, but really it's a wedge. They're probably going to try to do. It'll break up back above it and kind of confirm, you know what I mean, and go from there. And the wedge plays out. You can call that a triangle or whatever, but I'm going to call it a wedge. And triangle plays out. This is just pattern trading stuff. That would put, let's say it breaks out at this cross, put us back up at 124, another all-time high, whatever. But just be prepared. This could be a local top area. Who knows? But I wouldn't like really get shaken out yet because Bitcoin's got the custody, it's got the institutions, it's got Coinbase earning and buying more Bitcoin. If you haven't noticed that, it's got things going for it. It's got MicroStrategy and everything. So there's that. So with my TA out the way, let's throw in some MicroStrategy and see how it's performing. All right. So we know my TA. Let's delete this parallel channel and get a little bit. We can delete this now. We've already confirmed that. So yeah, we need to stay above this area. You know what I mean? At least above 112, but 113, 115, I would want to stay above. So, and it looks like we are. So MicroStrategy. let's look at where we're at with that. MicroStrategy pulled back. Bitcoin's kind of going sideways downish, just like MicroStrategy. All right. MicroStrategy is the yellow green up here. It's always good to see the correlation between this because it is pretty important. And it looks like it's far more volatile than Bitcoin at this point. Probably because there's way more money in the stock market and stuff. But, you know, MicroStrategy is pretty important. So this kind of going down right here. I just do this for the correlations right now. So you're aware of it. Pay attention to it. I had one more in here. Yeah. BMN. Let's add. Yeah, I had this already up, but I don't know why I did that. All right. So BMNR. Oh yeah, that's for the East. That's why. I don't know. I gotta look at the second one. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Anyways, I got it on the other chart with East. But yeah, I'm looking at the correlation between MicroStrategy and the other East strategic reserves right now too, and I'm trying to like correlate all that into my like analysis paralysis kind of stuff. So I was getting a little ahead of myself on the stream. But if you are here, please like, subscribe over on YouTube. Just give me a subscribe. Come back to X if you're on X, whatnot. You know, there are far more people on X than YouTube, so I might kill YouTube one day. Who knows? Just because. But you know, anyways. So if MicroStrategy raises some more money to buy more Bitcoin, we're going to that 140. You know, but then in the past. Michael Saylor, he says that we're going to pump to 180 and dip down to 140. I've seen little rumors out there in the past about that. I don't know if it's true or not. So yeah, pretty good correlation here. If you don't mind me, if you kind of line them up, MicroStrategy dipped. So they could be selling some of their stock to purchase more Bitcoin, propping the Bitcoin price up, vice versa. I've kind of noticed this. It's more prevalent in the Ethereum charts between these guys that they could be just like swipping and swashing through these certain stocks in Ethereum because the company could buy Bitcoin and sell Bitcoin. But I don't think MicroStrategy is going to be selling it anytime soon. So they're probably going to be selling their stock to purchase more because that's how they're raising money. I don't know the legalities behind that, but you know. And if you pay attention to the RSI, this is Bitcoin's RSI. It is at a good bounce area, midline. If you take MicroStrategy out of it, it's at a good bounce area. So we could be going back up to that wedge right here. And that'll come back up to here and form something. But the chart is going down right here while the RSI is going up. All right. So pay attention to that. But this line right here has not confirmed yet. So you have to be aware. You want it to curve first. You know what I mean? To kind of confirm on the RSI. So yeah, there's that. We could, beginning of the month, just break out above that and just go for it. August could be all but green. And I'm kind of expecting a little bit of that because on the greater picture of Bitcoin is we're going to fulfill the inverse head and shoulder target. You know what I mean? There's just a smaller pattern in that scenario. Could be a parallel channel too, whatever. But they do seem like they want to hit that target or inside that purple box a little bit to fill this area. All right. And they could be using MicroStrategy to do it. Who knows? Because if this keeps selling off intraday, which I would probably pay attention to, probably on the weekend, probably tomorrow, it might fill that spot. Who knows? But in the weekend, MicroStrategy doesn't trade, so Bitcoin does. So, you know, we could see buying up on the weekend for Bitcoin, at least. I'm still bullish. Stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, enough about Bitcoin because we want to get to the good stuff. We want to get to altcoins, right? I know. I know we all do because Bitcoin is boring, old, and slow, and Hex is better. We know this. Pulsechain is better. We know this, but it takes 30 minutes to 3 days to receive a Bitcoin transaction. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Who knows? Depends on how congested the network is, and that is one of the reasons, why it's the digital gold. Slow, old, having to move. You get my gist. Anyways, I wanted to get into this video by Nick Hellman, Crypto Hitman. Shout out to him. Hopefully, you guys can hear the video while I play this. It is a very good analysis on ETH. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. The days that he's counting and stuff like that. So yeah, Ethereum's going higher. Everything else will go higher when Ethereum breaks out. Yeah, we'll go up. Maybe altcoins will have a little pullback while it pumps, and then once it tops out locally, things like that. Layer ones will probably just explode this cycle because institutions are in on the regular Bitcoin, Ethereum. Maybe mid-cycle they're in on these layer ones, things like that. So we just got to pay attention to that. But shout out to Nick. If you're not following him, I would at Crypto Hitman on X. I was looking into all this stuff before they had me on Crypto Paradise and stuff like that. And then I started watching his streams. It was kind of weird how it just like I came in on that. And he was teaching this stuff even before me. So yeah, I thought that kind of weird how it's kind of coincidental, but yeah, I've been watching his stuff. It's pretty good stuff. Paying attention. So yeah. Anyways, since we got our big boy glasses on for the altcoins, okay, we got the big boy glasses. Since we're gonna look at this ETH right here. So my last target. Last time I streamed, this is the trend line from last cycle top to now. We hit that purple box. We're in it. We're going to see some resistance. And right now we're at the bottom of this purple box, kind of above our targeted parallel channel. So we can delete the parallel channel stuff. And it is null and void. And we need to hang above that. I forgot to say one thing real quick. We do need to hang above this parallel channel target. I can't believe it's doing it again. Sorry, guys. We don't need that. Can't believe it. See, it went to Bitcoin. You little. I had this all set up, all ready to go for you guys. So yeah, parallel channel right here. Let's put it back up. We have the parallel channel, right? And then our trend line. Forgot to say it before I deleted it. I really think we need to stay above tippity top area of this line, but we could move down and touch. Let's just move this line up. We could like stay above that line. You know, this area of resistance at most come down to the center line of that, since the head and shoulders, previous head and shoulders right here is right there, and you know, kind of broke down from there. So yeah, center line it. You don't want to go down to the bottom of that because it would be retesting this resistance right here, and it would be too far in here. So I would want to stay above this line. But what do I know? We're just here for crypto, you know. But yeah, that was the target. It hit it. So let's delete that previous target. That's parallel channel now. Just stay above 3,200. I would say 3,500 to be safe. And 3,500 is, let's put another line here, horizontal line. Let's put a horizontal ray, actually. It's 3,500-ish. And people are protecting that line. So we want to stay above there. And let's make it purple. All right. But this bigger trend line will come down and, you know, retest some stuff. So that inverse head and shoulder played out. We met that target. And now it looks like we're going up. We could be making this huge cup. Who knows, really? And then this is going to be the handle. We're going to bounce off of here. We're going to break out and consolidate, probably just like Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And consolidate there for a while. And maybe September, we're going to pop off. Who knows? August, all layer ones, everybody else could catch up to ETH and all this stuff. I think that's what's going to happen right here. The rotation into layer ones and whatnot is real. Taking profits on bigger coins, going into layer ones. That rotation I'm starting to see already. So just pay attention to that. I really don't know what kind of pattern is playing so far, because it's still, it kind of has like a head and shoulders ish on the daily, but if you go to the weekly, it's not there, I believe. Yeah, it's not there on the weekly. So yeah, as long as we stay up here, it'll be good. And yeah, as long as we consolidate, build a flag, maybe even if we on the weekly, even if we build like a pendant type of structure, you know what I mean? Like, well, this candle would have to be taller, but same concept, pendant type structure. It would be bullish, and that would be my TA. And that kind of goes in line with whatever, you know, it could be a pendant forming right here. And who knows? We shall see. Could build a bull flag. We'll leave that pendant there for next week and see where we go. I know it doesn't really have too much of a pull over here, but you can do what you do. We could throw in a parallel channel right there too and just go from top to top, come down and see if we flag, and then we'll come down and flag that way again. So, you know, it would flag that way, and then it would flag probably, you know, it would flag this way, and then we'd probably break out. Whatever. Just an example right there. So if it's pendant, it's pendant, whatever. So there's Ethereum. And on the bigger scale, I think you got to be on the weekly for this. Yeah, that and log it up. There we go. And if we break this trend line, all right, guys, I know this is some other TA stuff, But if we break this trend line from the bull flag, I'm not saying it's going here. Yeah, that's way too long for me. But, you know, 200 grand? No way in hell. But maybe 80. Maybe I made that bull flag a little long. Not really. I don't know why, but let's go right there. That's a little bit better. But the bull flag, you know what I mean? Building that flag. I had this all drawn up on a previous stream, but that flag's still playing out, so we can see. We will see. Multi cycle kind of flag. If we do go up there, let's just say it goes to 59, 80K. Let's just, there's our bigger target. But 2026 sometime. Ethereum's RSI though. So that's like moon boyish. But the RSI right now on the daily, let's go back to that, is topping. On the weekly, it's kind of mid right here. So once those two meet between the weekly and the daily, that's probably when we'll bounce. Things like that. Just got to pay attention. So what's up, Frank White? Bang, bang, Pulse Gang. What's up, AJ? Yo, what up, my peeps? I played the video in the beginning. If you didn't see from Liberty Biberty video, you should probably go back and watch it, or I can play it right now. Just let me know. I will. But yeah, I can't believe I used to start crypto. Going back to TA, I used to start crypto by fundamentals and stuff, because fundamentals can blow out TA no matter what sometimes. But I'm more TA kind of guy now. I'm starting to turn into that kind of TA kind of guy, because it takes time. You know what I mean? You can kind of see these moves coming. You can kind of see you're too overwrecked if you don't see this portion of the chart right here, and we're back in time. But yeah, technicals are technicals, and you'd want this to come back down at least a little bit like last time, right? In order for them to, just like Crypto Hitman says, we need to reset that RSI on a bigger institutional ETH kind of store of value kind of way, in order to progress forward into this rotation between ETH and layer ones and the rest of, the flow. So it happens slowly, and then it happens quickly, because first they call you a scammer, they call you a scam, then they laugh at you, and then they fight you, and then you win, right? Something like that. Don't quote me on it, but yeah. Ha ha, Liberty Biberty. Yeah, just because of that, I'm going to go.
Yeah. We're stacking sats, we're breaking chains, green candles lighting up our games. No central banks to hold us tight. We're free men basking in the light. The system's rigged, we've seen the play, but crypto's here to save the day. Responsibility is our creed. No overlords till we've been freed.
Are you replacing me?
With this guy?
Customize and save with Liberty Biberty.
He doesn't even have a mustache.
Oh, look, a Bee-Boo.
Only pay for what you need.
I'm Doog, and this is Bee-Boo. Save hundreds with Liberty Biberty.
Doug and Limu.
What did he say, Bee-Boo?
Customize and save with Liberty.
Customize and save with Liberty Biberty.
Decentralized, we're on the track. No middlemen to clip our wings. We own the keys, we're crypto kings. Liberty's our battle cry. No surveillance.
Yeah, shout out to you, AJ. I thought I'd play it a second time just for you. Just for you. All right. What is up? Good morning, guys. Good morning. DeFi Prince is in the house. Very agreeable stream. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're liking it. We are looking really bullish in the crypto neck of the woods. Let's just say, you know what I mean? So, I'm starting to like want to analyze like the stock market and stuff like that now because crypto is kind of like, okay, I get the crypto. Let's look over here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we shall see. Um, more macro, more understanding of the debt cycles, things like that could help bring some value to this crypto university kind of chain and try to give it out and kind of correlate the two, see like how liquidity's flown between Wall Street and crypto and stuff because it's all connected now. That's why they got regulations and so AJ says, "What's up, Freds?" And no ice. Yeah. So, anyways, we're really here for the really agreeable Pulsechain, right? So, yeah, there's my ETH fundamental analysis. I could go over Solana and stuff, but it's just boring. So, one thing I want to talk about that nobody talks about on Pulsechain at all or has talked about yet is this ratio right here. Wrap Bitcoin to Pulsechain. All right? Because Bitcoin's been flying high while Pulsechain's been getting wrecked the whole time. Right? I wish I was paying attention to this a hell of a lot longer. Because it's kind of like the Wrap Pulse X ratio or the ETH Pulse ratio, because plenty of people relate Pulsechain to ETH because, it's a copy of the fork or whatever. But the Bitcoin dominance, this is kind of like the Bitcoin dominance chart for Pulsechain to me. You know what I mean? So it kind of looked like it's taking a tumble, dude. Like, does this mean that Pulsechain is this chart right here? Does it mean that Pulsechain is getting stronger, or is somebody bringing in Bitcoin? Because, yeah, everybody talks about the other things like ETH and USD, whatever they bridge into the chain, but do they tell you about people swapping it on that Liberty swap, just swapping their Bitcoin or Bitcoin to USDC and then USDC to whatever? You know what I mean? Because look at this dump, guys. First, I want to just point this out. The whole time, Pulsechain has been dumping. How high have we gone from launch in Bitcoin? How strong has Bitcoin gotten against Pulse? Just a good 25x, Wrecked. You know what I mean? So, you really want this chart to go down for Pulsechain to go up, right? So, we're at an inflection point here, I think, because we're hitting this major resistance right now, and we could be going sideways for a month. We could just be pumping to the moon, and this thing just come down to here. I mean, hard. You know what I mean? It could. So, yeah, I think it's really hard to do TA on this because the fall is so freaking hard, and it has made a lower low from these. It is officially broken the uptrend. So, Pulse keeps pumping. Somebody's going to be dumping, right? So the longer Bitcoin goes sideways, ETH goes sideways, whatever, Pulse could be shining right now, dude. Like, I can't be bullish enough. I can't. You know what I mean? I'll check out Helgo, all right? But yeah, hopefully Pulse keeps pumping. Yeah. I mean, there's giveaways. Who does Bitcoin giveaways these days? They used to do this back in 2017 when it was still 20K, 6K. like, I mean, like, shout out to Rackham for doing the giveaways. Very mighty kind of you, sir. And he pops into these streams every now and then. So mighty kind to you. Hopefully I meet you in person one day. We never know. Yeah. Anyways, but nobody ever talks about this on Pulsechain. Corey Geary talks about the hidden chart, the pulse to ETH ratio. Yes, it is important. But I think this one's far more important. Because if we're like going to be the shining city on the hill one day, what needs to happen, guys? Bitcoin, Pulse needs to gain strength over Bitcoin, because if you sacked your remember, you could sack your Bitcoin, you could sack your ETH, you could sack your Solana, you could sack everything, right? So people probably sacked Bitcoin and lost purchasing power in the Bitcoin, and they probably want their Bitcoin back. You know what I mean? That's why they're crying so hard. I don't know, because they lost their Bitcoin backs. But Wrap Pulse will outperform Bitcoin. So if it went 25x against Pulsechain, all right, how far down has it gone? Just 57%. I mean, we need to make this to 100%. Like the Zen chart. Just saying. Can we not get bullish enough? Oh, I'd love to see this chart at 100%, like, or 101%. Let's just put it down there, bro. It probably won't ever get to 100%, but if Pulsechain does a 10,000x, it probably will. Like, you probably, who knows? You know, all this Bitcoin that got sold, like, the only chart you could find of this is on Pulsechain, like PulseX V2, Wrap BTC to Pulse, and it is dumping hard, man. And when did Pulse start pumping? Let's look. Okay, so this is July 3rd. It topped out. Let's go over to the Pulse chart. This Wrap die July 3rd, right? Look at that. The very effing bottom of that, right? Let's go back to the Wrap Bitcoin chart. Go to the Pulse ratio. All this is one click, guys. And that was this dump right here. Now we're right here. We wicked, so we're probably going to gain a little bit of support in this area. So we got two balls and a flat little hung whatever. So this is July 30th. What has Pulsechain done the whole time? July 3rd. Let's just put a line or a vertical line. I've been paying attention to this for the past like month and not saying anything because I wanted to say something right. So from there to here. All right. So what's going on? Let's put another line here. There to there. Pulsechain's been pumping. Pretty much. Go over to Bitcoin. I mean, we got 417K tied to it. We got just 2 Bitcoin over here. 2 Wrap Bitcoin. That's it. That's it. That's not much Bitcoin over here, guys. Like, we need to get some like newbies over here and bring like 100 of those Bitcoin over up in here, dude. I'm serious. Like, we need some damn liquidity with Wrap BTC. Who's gonna take us serious? Like, yeah, watching's right, dude. Like, 1 Bitcoin. We have, yeah. Hopefully one day it comes. But yeah, this chart will probably, I mean, I don't even know. Let's invert this real quick. and see if it tells us anything else. Because look, that's rat pulse to Bitcoin. It looks like the pulse chart, but far rector. Oh my god! I mean, you saw the rat pulse ETH chart was good, but look at where the volume's at right here. Whew. I need the meme Konnichiwa. I need to upload it. I need to get it from Triplet Dad or something. Yeah, definitely Konnichiwa. But yeah, that is wrecked, bro, against Bitcoin. So if we're doing that, now this is a double bottom. So if we do the double bottom cup and handle right here, let's just call this a cup and handle. We're probably going to come down to here. So we can invert the chart again. Now we need to correlate it to this chart. That would be about right in here. Right here. So we're probably coming down to here on our next move. All right. All right, guys. Probably coming down to there. And that would probably be a pretty equilibrium point. You know what I mean? So that would be, that's on February 27th. Let's just make sure. Right? Let's just make sure. That would be, yeah, February 27th, basically. Or even February 11th. Let's go to February 11th. Invert the chart back. May 11th. Oh my God. Look at that. Let's just put those 2 points right there. Delete this line. And actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll just do that. And then we'll put a parallel channel right here. All right. We'll put a mini parallel channel right there because it could just follow that range somewhere. But if Bitcoin goes to 150, this chart's going to come back up here and retest right up in here, guys. Like, it's going to retest. It wants to retest these wicks right here. If Bitcoin goes up and Pulsechain stays or moves sideways, this is a local top. I'm getting to Pulsechain in a second. But I'm just trying to paint a picture. Bitcoin goes to 150. This chart will go up. Pulsechain going sideways. But we could be going to Valhalla, right? I'm just trying to keep it real. That's just what the charts are telling me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that would be the bottom area. I know I used parallel channel. It could be a rectangle down there, but Bitcoin go to 150, push this chart go up here, and then go back down when Pulsechain pumps, right? And outperforms Bitcoin because we know at 150K, Bitcoin's going to dip. So, just saying. So, now, can't really do the ETH to wrap. Well, you can, but ETH wrap pulse, if you really want to go to the wrap pulse ratio, where's the, let's see if it even, I don't think it will. This is V1, V2, V1, no. ETH wrap pulse V2, that's the wrong ETH. Yeah, I gotta look for the chart. I'm not gonna waste time right now because I've already been streaming for a while. It is 8:30, got 20 minutes left. I just want to point that out. It's gonna take a minute for this to come back down here. So I do kind of expect this to kind of come up, retest. Time frames could be by the middle of August, who knows? But if I'm wrong, and I really do hope I'm wrong on this, really hope I'm wrong on this, because I want to see this chart just go back down to this parallel channel hard and fast, and Bitcoin just hold steady at around 115K. Whatever. Know what I mean? Just do it slowly. Take your time. We're in no rush. I know the marketing's coming, but candles can, like, as long as it looks like it's recovering from a bottom, this chain can explode, man. But what if all the Bitcoin got sold and Pulsechain just pumped a little bit to get this down, and the rest of that Bitcoin that got sold is sitting in cash somewhere? Who knows? There are rumors of Richard Hart selling a lot of Bitcoin, if it was even Richard Hart. So yeah, retest up to here, and then probably go back down. Probably it could happen within the first week of August. You know what I mean? So there's that. I just want to point that out because nobody ever talks about this ratio. And if I didn't show it to you, I'd probably feel pretty bad. But it did. I paid attention to it like right up here, and I'm just like, that looks so damn toppy. So if we follow Richard Hart's everything dips 85% rule or more, where would it go? Where would it stop this cycle, right? Let's just put it there. Let's just put it to the top. Let's give it like 80%. There we go. Top of the cycle. That's bottoming out. And then Pulsechain is going to wreck it even further just to prove a point, catch people in from Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the newbies, retail, and then they're going to come into Pulsechain, and they're going to be our exit liquidity down here. But from here to here, on this ratio, is the altcoin pump, the 10,000x on the way to. You know what I mean? Who knows? Could be wrong. Who knows, man? Anyways, let's move on to Pulsechain. We're here for some goodness. We already went over ETH. So, yeah. Pulsechain. Let's just get rid of these lines. Yeah. I'm glad I talked about that. Got that off my chest. I've been watching it. Heard nobody in Pulsechain talk about it yet. And, yeah, bond yields are up. Shout out to Cairo. I like your streams. I've always known about that stuff. I like how you go over it, you break it down, things like that. Shout out to you, man. And got to jam, buddy. Night, buddy. You take care of yourself, man. Yeah, so we kind of did like a half wannabe Adam and Eve. And I know Cairo doesn't approve of TA because, yeah, you just look at numbers and whatever. But it is sure entertaining, so I will keep doing it for you guys. But look, we got rejected off the top of the parallel channel, just like TA, because TA does count for something, right? So, in all aspect, I do want this to let's just draw it. I do want this to like come down here, retest off the middle of the line, and then break to the upside and fulfill this. All right. And by the end of August, we could be back above this bigger parallel channel. All right. And you all know this bigger Toby Wan, because I like that part of the TA. I give credit where credit's due. This Toby Wan TA, he keeps it nice and simple. By the end of August, we could be back up here way above SAC price. All right. And that chart will be looking pretty juicy. We could even be up here. We could even be up even further up here. All right. If he wants to lock everybody out, like St. Wolf says, I'm trying to put everybody together. And then it could make a messy, big ass cup and handle right here, because most break-eveners will want to sell right through here. You know what I mean? Just let them sell whatever. I know it's not going to be like next year or something. But break eveners, I'll sell right up in here until like October, middle of October. We just go, dude. And yeah, the big ass cup and handle. Let's just say that big ass cup and handle plays out. That big ass cup and handle would put us. Now I'm talking about this big ass cup and handle. All right, let's go to the weekly. It'll probably look a little better. Because you kind of can make this a big ass cup and handle with like a capitulation event right over in here at the bottom. All right. Let's just say this big ass cup and handle. Let's just say we play that out. I know it's not like it would be a little more like that, but let's just do this. There we go. Redraw this. You never know. All right. I know it's not technically a cup and handle, guys, but you get the fucking point of what I'm trying to say. I don't care. And I really don't respond to most messages. And then you get the target, right? Yeah. Already did the target. That's a 10x, bro. 2 zeros, 1 7. And then what would happen? This would send Pulsechain into what phase on the Wall Street cheat street? Wall Street cheat sheet. What phase, guys? God. Clicked again. Let's go to images. Whatever. You get the point. What phase? I don't know. What phase? I think right here would be disbelief. All right. Optimism, belief, and or hope right here, where we want to be, would be up here. And then maybe by if you really want this thing to perform, this would be hope, bro. Like, oh, we got to make that bigger. There we go. There's our hope phase. Because we're in depression. We're trying to come out of it, but disbelief would be up here. So let's go text disbelief. That would be disbelief. All the break eveners would sell out in disbelief. They'd probably leave about 10% in just in case we go to hope. And then thrill would probably be up there near penny or more. Thrill or euphoria. All right. Just to set expectations, that would be a nice looking chart. Even you think it could happen that way? You'd probably need a 3-month pullback during hope. And then just go. So that would play out into next year, 2026, things like that. So enough about that. That's my little moon boy TA kind of stuff. But if that doesn't play out, it doesn't play out, guys. We could top out at the top of this channel, come back down here, and just range until 2026. You know what I mean? We could. We'll see. Marketing's coming. The ships are sailing and whatnot. So let's go back to the daily. Where's our target? Our target is up here at 301 sack. Let's just call it sack price if we break out of here. All right. Let's just call it sack price. I think we can get there. Do we need Richard pumping it? Who knows if he already isn't? Who knows? Who cares? Like, just hold your bags to stop selling. Accumulate more. Doesn't even matter if it's 10x higher. Still buy it. If you got $1,000 and you still want to buy it. Bags get bigger. When do you think on selling? Next week? Next year? Next decade? What? Anyways, enough about Pulsechain. We're going higher, guys. But I'm not excited yet. I'm glad. I'm happy we're moving up. We're finally retesting this high right, mid-level high right here. We're meeting this resistance of the previous head and shoulders. It's going to take a minute. So we'll see. Pulsechain complete. Let's go to Pulsex. Let's look at the ratio real quick. Let's see where it's at. Didn't even get to the RSI of Pulsechain. It looks like it could be recovering. Like, they are holding this line, guys. That good job, guys. Like, holding that line. I like it. Is it retesting the top of that line? The previous, yeah, could be. Very well could be, but go right there. Yeah. I don't know. Ratio's doing good. Looks like it's holding the blue line because that's the only one that really matters right now. It could be building this shoulder, inverse head and shoulder pattern, but it could lose strength to Pulsechain pumps first because people are going to be buying Pulsechain first before Pulsex until they find out about that narrowed, whatnot. So, yeah. Let's go back to Pulsechain and look at the RSI real quick and the momentum. All right. RSI is a little high. Yeah, way high. So, yeah, probably going to cool off for half a week, whatever. But, yeah, it played out on the upside of the RSI, which is cool. Let's delete that. It kind of followed that line. Pretty cool. We'll see if it plays out like that. We'll continue that and see what happens. September, the marketing could start. So, as long as you see a recovery, whatever, at least as long as we're near that sack price, we'll probably be pretty dang good. You know what I mean? New money comes in. They see a recovery. They see the Wall Street cheat street playing out. They go, oh, shit, I kind of missed the very bottom. Last chance to get in. You know, we want them to feel like that, to feel the FOMO, right? To create the hope, I'm saying it's going to be the hope phase for us that have been through the depression, the anger, the whole chart, all right? To them, it'll probably create a FOMO phase. Who knows? But we'll see how that RSI plays out. Momentum, looking strong. Look at that. Above the zero line, looking strong. It is kind of topping out right here. So we could see if it stays above there, it would be great. Be really great. I would really need back to Pulsex. Pulsex price probably looking a little bit, more toppier than Pulsechain right there. That is a doji like no other, bros. Like, looks like a forceful breakout of the previous yellow line right there. If you see that, that is doji. That indicates that we're probably going to come back down to 303. Who knows? And retest that. But let's delete my line down here that didn't play out. That didn't play out. So, yeah, kind of forcefully went up. We'll see if it gets eaten up. Who knows? It very well can. But fundamentals, like, I don't know. Richard could always do something, but I doubt it yet with the red notice, things like that. I think you'll get priced out before the red notice goes away, though. Like, I would want to price you out if it were my chain and I had all of it. I would want to price you out before the red notice got lifted. So you had to buy back in higher just to feel the pain. So the RSI is up real high. Looks like it could be printing at head and shoulders, but it is retesting the previous support right back in here. So we shall see. Yeah, there's that downtrend right here, but I also see another uptrend forming. All right. That's just 2 points, though. I would love to get 3, and off the wicks, I like it more if you're off the candle bodies. Each their own. That is a flat line. That would put us in a parallel channel. Once again, this would probably correlate with Pulsechain, but Pulsechain, on the other hand, on the daily, does have that doji too, or a hammer candle, indicates reversal. So could be a fake out, but if it's not coming back down, you know what I mean? May at lowest a 3-6. You know what I mean? Retesting that middle parallel channel. Like that's the bearish case. But if the momentum keeps up like it is on Pulsechain right here, and it keeps up, we could go through that, break the parallel channel, and go up to this upper. But it could take the whole month of August to do that. It takes time, guys. It takes time. So Pulsex, on the other hand, a little toppy, parallel channel. It is up there still too. Let's just draw this parallel channel right here and call that wick no bueno. We're just going to say no. And look, that previous red candle kind of matches with the parallel channel, right? So we could come back down here and kind of get close to it and retest this yellow line. Could correlate. I doubt we'll get to this yellow line, but yeah. And if I'm wrong and we break this parallel channel, I do want to keep doing bull targets because I am a bull, but I still keep it real. Pulsex would go up to 4058 above half sack price, which would be great. And that at that point, it would be keeping up with Pulsechain. Pulsechain could be making this go down harder because it's looking like it's not dipping as hard by any means. But yeah, kind of played out on that parallel channel kind of perfectly. Wow. Maybe we're slowing down and this Adam and Eve bottom will still play out for the most part, except this little whatever dump. Gym rat dump. I call this whole dump right here Gym rat crypto getting out. I think that's when he was getting out and doing all that FUD storm stuff. I don't know. Yeah, anyways, back to Hex, the number one most performing asset in all of crypto in the past week or two. I don't know, but we kind of outperformed my little drawing here, and it looks like we got some dojis up here on the 4 on the daily, and now we're dumping, and it looked like somebody coming in and trying to save it. So this parallel channel still holds up. So we could be at the top of this parallel channel. But it looks like we might have already done that scenario on the daily. So the 4 hour, yeah, we already did it. We already retested it and we failed. And now we're coming back down on the parallel channel. So, yeah, so much for those lines. TA kind of shows you, unless some fundamental news event comes in, TA is what I kind of follow. Although my bags kind of stay the same, and I tend not to follow my own advice for the most part. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't build a head and shoulders right here. You wouldn't want that to happen. You'd want it to keep above this shoulder. Wicks are okay, but you'd want to keep it above this shoulder and kind of build like a cup, or, you know, it's hard to say. This could turn into a bear flag, short-term bear flag or whatever, but in the long term, we're bullish. So who knows? Yeah, that's Hex, man. It did outperform all the crypto though. 223%. If you're into numbers and the skull and bones and stuff like that, that is just weird. Conspiracy going on, I don't know. Maybe they control the whole world through energy. I don't know. I'm just pulling your legs, guys. Pulling your legs. But yeah, Hex looking good. Hopefully it bounces off the midline right here, bearish. But it does look like it pumped up pretty hard, pretty fast. Yeah, we'll see. Let's look at incentive token. Far above $2 now. Look at that. Whew. I don't have very much of this, if any, but I am still so bullish on this. Yeah, because it's the only one you can earn and you couldn't sack for or anything. So I could literally see it broke out of that line and went up to the moon. So the TA on that would be from here to here, and the target at the break, it already hit the target. So we need to hold up above right here. All right. Like literally we need to hold up above at least right here. At the most come down to like $2. Big psychological support. And see if we can hang there. But in order to do that, we got to put in this parallel channel. Let's do it. I used to be a big fib person, but once I started using parallel channels, it started making a hell of a lot more sense. So it makes a hell of a lot more sense just looking at this. So we could come down to that $2 mark. You know, by the mid August, whatever. You know, people like taking breaks. People like buying things when other people take breaks. It could be like the last chance to get in. Did I say that correctly? The last chance to get in. Who knows? Not financial advice. This is just a guy speaking his opinions and taking extreme risk with his own money. So yeah. And if you want to get into Pulsechain, you can just contact me on X or whatever, and I can probably help you out. Anyways, yeah, that's ink. That's nice. I like it. If we break that parallel channel, where are we going to, boys and girls? Where are we going? Where do you think we're going? I know we're going higher. Let's say by the mid-August. We're going to $4. What? $4 ink? Whew. Liquidity bonding is a hell of a drug. Anyways, Most looks like it's doing good, creating this cup and hand. Ooh, that looks good. I like that. It's retesting this right here. I used to own a little bit of this. I might still, but yeah, coming down, retest that. Kind of did the cup. Kind of rejected off the top of the cup. Now it broke out and retest. Could be a cup and handle, guys. If we're still bullish on Pulsechain, let's go. You know, go up to that line. Look at that. So yeah, there's a target of that. Could pull back, kind of come down here. 4 cents, 3.9, whatever. All right. There's my analysis on that. Definitely broke out above that line. I can go away. We're above the 200 now, or the 120. Are we above the 200 yet? I doubt it. Yeah, no, we don't even have one on this chart yet. So PTGC got a shout out to them. Look at that. They're doing pretty good. It looks like they're building a bull flag. Definitely building a bull flag. So if that was to break out, I'm just going to be conservative bull flag. All right. That would go to 2011. So that would definitely put us up above to retest the previous support resistance right here. But that is some resistance, man. Those are some wicks. So yeah. That would be my bullish target. My bearish target would be down here. All right. Right down in here. But you definitely want to see those wicks off the bottom for a flag. It could be putting in a little tiny another off the bodies. Could be putting in a little pennant. Who knows? I don't know. Let's see if it's breaking up to the upside probably in the next couple days. If it's not, it's going to break support of that and wick back down and be building a bull flag. Solid X. Give me a second. I need to take a drink of water. Astrology for the dudes. Look at this, guys. This is bullish to me. Previous resistance line. I know I didn't go all the way to the top or whatever, but we already broke that one right down here somewhere. So previous resistance line off those, we broke out. We did retest that. We bounced off the 200, and it looked like we went a little higher. It looks like we're going to be retesting this area right here. So what I would want to look for is a target of like $19, $20 here pretty soon. Maybe in the next couple weeks. Who knows? We have been moving pretty quickly on this. I don't like that. So if we were to parallel channel this right here, because it already confirmed on the daily, we probably would come down to $12.34, somewhere around there. Kind of, same kind of concept. Retest these top of these wicks. It kind of looked nice, although we kind of did on one candle. Who knows? This daily candle tomorrow could turn green and go above this parallel channel, just like on any of the Pulsechain, the Pulsex, whatever stuff, and just totally fake you out with a doji. Because that would be a tricky market mover, or market maker. You know what I mean? So yeah. I always got to expect fake outs. So, yeah, this doji could be a fake out, but I think we still have time. The marketing's weeks away still, so we have some time. Like beginning of September, they got a label, they got a, you know what I mean? So, got to think about that. Anyways, there is Solid X, and if we did that, let's just call it $20. But if we did this parallel channel thing, that would put, we broke out, that would put us around $25. All right. Semi bullish, $20 from the cup if we're building the handle right now. And the bearish is we need to hold that at most that $12 mark, man. And that would give Solid X a solid that would give Solid X a solid 25-30% pullback, which would be nice. So that would be pretty cool. Nope. We've all been on a tear. So it's got that green hammer candle. It looks a little toppy, guys. So yeah, there's that. And our line with nope. Yeah, we're there. We're hitting a little resistance with nope. All right. Broke out of that parallel channel at the bottom. We need to move this line up after we lengthen it, of course. I'm going a little bit more TA right now because I think the bearish case for nope is it needs to stay above that line right here. Wrong line. I think needs to stay above that at that target because it's certainly surpassed the target. But it hit that resistance. I'm just calling it hitting this resistance because I could just move that back down to this and look, it pierced it. So, you know what I mean? And that's a little bit more accurate anyways on the chart. If you look at the candles right there. So yeah, it hit it. We got some time. September, hopefully if we stay above this line, it will break out and go to the upside again. That gives us a month, 3 weeks. You know, pay attention, guys. Actuator. Did a hell of a move, man, from the bottom. I got to give a shout out to C3 Works, building a fundamentally strong product, but it did 180. It moved with Hex, bro. Like, that's a nice cup, and it looks like it's probably going to build a handle. So, if you guys can't see that, I'll see it for you and move it up. And that should put us around 30666, let's just call it. Just to be fundamentally right. And bearish, we need to, I think, we really, just by looking at it, horizontal line, we need to, stay above that to be bullish. But I'm going to go a little conservative and go down there. All right? Because it's lower market cap, lower liquidity, and all that. Let's look at YEP token. Been on a tear lately. Down 10%. Wanted to show you guys that my parallel channel was invalid. My wedge was right. Our target. Let's just delete all this stuff. I think that green line needs to stay there. Yes, it does. That's the longer term trend line. Actually needs to move down a little bit right here. But I think we just need to go off the candle bodies from now. For now. And let's just stay right there. All right. So our wedge broke out. Kind of toppy. This is on the daily. On the 4 hour, kind of shows a little bit more. So yeah, we hit the target. We surpassed it just a little bit, which is nice. I like it. It is nice. All right. And even if we wanted to call this parallel channel, I mean, you could, this is like double TA stuff, but like right there, that would be the zone you'd want to retest, right? Yeah. I would want to stay above right here to be bullish. But you have to pay attention that this never came back to retest this line to make that pattern valid. So it could come back down to here. All right. Put us at a lower market cap, such and such. But the only token I'll show the ratio with besides Pulsechain and stuff is this token. Because it is finally moving towards filling this gap right here on the ratio. All right. Yeah, it looks bearish, whatever, but look, touching the top over here. We have some time. This line has played out, and it's still following this line on the ratio. So it's wanting to put more yep in the pool and take some pulse out. I don't know why, but it's got to fill that a little bit, and it could come back down to 1-to-1 with the pulse. So it's not really going to affect the USD chart all that much, but I still think we need to stay above that triple four zeros 4769, whatever, right around there. All right. So probably a good local area for all these assets. Who knows to just look at. I'd wait for a little bit of pullback on all of them. They have all done great this past like week or whatever. All done great for how big they are or whatever. You know what I mean? Look at that. That's on the weekly chart. Past 3 weeks, they've done great. Yep's gone up 71%. I mean, Solid X has gone up. Let's just go from here to here. 112. That's not bad. It's not bad. I like it. So we could be coming out of the depression of Pulsechain. So people aren't thinking big enough, I think. Like, I really hope the Pulsechain chart plays out with the hope, and yeah, because that would just be like, like a 10x from here. All of us at the bottom, or all of us that have been here through the start, would be like, I hope this thing is not the top. And that would be the hope phase for us. You know what I mean? So, anyways, looking good on Solid X2. Nope. I think went up. I'm just highlighting these. Sorry, guys. I'll get into that one token. That went up 90%. And AJ wanted me to look up. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Check out Helgo. All right. This is for you, AJ. Good night, Frank. I'm almost done, but Helgo is popping off. Nice. Look at that. OG right there. OG. I think this OG guy. Yeah. Pulled pulse on 120. Nice. I like it. All right. Popping off. Look at that. Jesus. 300%. Let's put this on our watch list. It definitely needs to come back to like right there, or the previous wick right there. Yeah. Well, let's just put a line right there. Let's just go right there. Yeah. Definitely needs to come back to that area. But it looks like I already retested it. So who knows? Anyways, interesting. Thank you for that one. 2 fucks looking good. Yeah, it looks wrecked than wrecked, but it is retesting the same kind of wedge. If you notice that yep had. Interesting there. Steve is the only thing that's up today, while everything else is down. So maybe some people taking profits in the Scuba Steve and X Game. People are starting to rotate, which I like. Firewall's down. A little, not really. It's done really good too. Everything is right at that cup and handle moment, just like liquidity bonding. Let's look at vets. Yeah, kind of wiki talky, just same emit. And it's struggling right now, but there is a bot that feeds the single-sided pool that causes sell pressure. The volume bot causes sell pressure and gives people die in the single-sided, stuff like that. So not enough people are buying it back with that die. you know, it is what it is. Shout out to the mid guy, Panos. I think he has a stream tomorrow, which is nice. Yeah. If you see my buy-in wick over here, and I think I created the bottom right here, and it looks like probably going to go down and retest this. So hopefully it holds. But if I have to come back down here at $1 and buy some more, I will. But I don't want too big of bags over here. I want a nice. I think I'm at the point to where I just want to keep it, and as it grows, it continues. So yes, I am invested in this one. Biased a little bit, but it did a nice little pennant, nice little thing. But we do have some resistance to break. We do have some support to stay above. So we'll see. Wrap pulse ratio kind of looks bottomy. Could come down a little bit more, but yeah. Island token, it did phenomenal. Yeah, come up. It's the only one bouncing off the midline of its parallel channel. Kind of lagging a little bit from everything else, but yeah. Fire token, doing the same thing. All of it's kind of, yield tokens, kind of building a flag. Yeah. I mean, 6.2K market cap. It is a micro cap, but you can earn it for free. Yeah. Who wouldn't? But P-Land, what everybody else is probably rotating into. I knew about this back here. I almost bought some. I do not own any of this one. I was told about it numerous times. I've had the opportunity, and I just haven't. I'm not really a metaverse kind of guy. I know they do perform well, but what I'm seeing right here is if you squash it up, it does look like a diamond pattern. All right. Could be a head and shoulders, whatever the hell you want to call it. But diamond patterns usually do break down. They are an indication of a reversal. Textbook. All right. So I would wait for it to pull back. If it does, August 3rd is launch. So they, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of stuff probably here. Just saying, just keeping it real. I am bullish on Pulseland. Do your own research, stuff like that. But do wait for a pullback. Because the ratio, it's way up there right now. But it is a good project. I like it. It's going to have the DAP farms in it. It's going to have probably some Pulsex farms in it, whatnot, everything. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you like playing in the metaverse or want to buy some land, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stuff to do. But, yeah, that's a good token. That's been up like what? Oh, it's 10x. Sorry, guys. Hex is the highest performing asset right now. Flux, it's just down only token still. Yep. That looks like it's kind of curving up, but it's got a lot of work to do to pass its previous all-time high. Might never come back, but calm. I was completely wrong on my TA on this. I said it was going to pull back and come down to here, right here. But it just overblew me. So it still needs, I still think it needs to come back down to here, previous right here. And it could take some time. Could get overhyped, but not. But yeah. I'm looking into surf right now. Who knows? Crypto Paradise surf token. It is a tax token. So 5% buy sell tax. I don't know. Been researching it, the whole community. And yeah, we'll see what comes out of that. And that goes along with the Emmett farms, stuff like that. But Anyways, guys, enough with the TA. I've been streaming for almost 2 damn hours. So yeah, 9:20. Let's call it good. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for the stream. Heading to bed. I know all y'all are on the East Coast and stuff like that. You guys got to go to bed and stuff. I appreciate you guys watching, sharing it out, subscribing, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Just do what you got to do. I need to like get better lighting over behind me, probably. But yeah. Anyways, that said, let's play some media assets and head out, guys.
No permissions, birth looked up, taking flight falling. Knows dissidence, balanced in dark and light. Steadying the agreeable index plight. Crypto tuning up, yup, keeping it right. Yup, the meme that's on the rise. Agreeable, intense. One on a Pulsechain's pride. Opening those minds with all the positivity. Marching in its time. Cadence in the grind. Agree to disagree. Yup. I thought of plenty. Meet up, hits it right. Freedom and prosperity. The destination and the flight. Lighting up dad's farm. Opposed to that, nope, rule. Firing up them charts, yeah, flying straight and true. Wink at the foes, cheer at the woes, yep. Stack sats gliding through the lows. The truth will set you free.